Correct. Even Spotify, I consume music in bite-sized videos as well.
Understand that, okay, I'm building a feature versus a
Do
product.
you incentivize that behavior?
Then someone speaking about it, and that catches your eye. So everyone is spending at least 10 minutes watching video that I
Have you ever thought about venturing into live commerce and live streaming?
Hello, Sandeep. Welcome to today's conversation. Thank you so much for giving your time. Before we start and talk about how Traya has successfully implemented video commerce with Swirl, in fact, has used video as a core part of their entire funnel strategy. Would love to maybe, get to know a little bit more about you. So if you can, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell your story.
Right. So then thank you for having me here. So I'm Sandeep. I head the engineering team here at Traya.
And welcome to this conversation where we are going to discuss about how Traya implemented video commerce. But first, before we talk about that, what I want to do is talk about you and your story and your journey, because you have spent over 5 years in this industry before you joined Traya, in companies like Club Yantra and Gene Corp, where in fact you were the founder, right? So I think this is a classic case of somebody who is an entrepreneur at heart and then went on to build these innovative solutions and experiences in the company that you joined. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
So I think in 2016, I was basically before that, I was working in a BFSI space. So one of my classmates came up with an idea where they wanted to get into health tech startups, right? So I said, and he happened to meet me in Bombay where he said, let's do something here. And then the initial idea was that we both are gaining weight, so we wanted to get something into health and fitness, right? So maybe target people like us who want to lose weight, like how to get into that space, right? Then we said, yeah, people actually go and do the resolution, get gym join, but the adherence is not there, right? So kind of create some app. The likes of ClassPass were also moving in the West at that point of time, and then we said, okay, replicate something like that. As we were doing, and we realized that may not work in India because more than people wanting to go, even the infrastructure at the back end, which is at the gyms and this spaces are not there to actually have that attendance.
Yeah, I remember you called it as Salesforce for gyms.
Yeah, so we created Club Infra.
Right.
At that scale, we hit a critical mass of maybe 200 plus gyms.
Very nice.
And then we said, then the back to that same space, that consumer app, right? So consumer app, by that time, lots of other apps had come up.
Okay.
Right. So with consumer app, then we said, we have to give something different to the user, right? Again, the rookie entrepreneurs try to see what is happening in the West, do a little research, and then bring that to India, right? That's what we also went with, which we call Gene Corp, and we went try to do some genetics testing, give some health plan to the users, which kind of backfired for us. Right? Where we did not come from the background, we came from more tech MBA guys, right?
Right.
Knew how to build something and then maybe kind of package it well, but for the health tech,
the core subject matter expertise was missing. Yeah.
Expertise for the health tech startup was missing, right? So yes, we kind of burned our hands and tried to bring some people on board who had that core expertise. They were a lot high on our pockets also, right? And all the time we realized that, okay, we have a tech product that we can maybe capitalize on, but what we have built over, the market was also very naive, right? To actually adopt such solutions. Even today in India, lots of other players who are still doing genetics are not doing really great, right? We started off during our time only, right? Because yes, the markets are not there in place and all those things, right? So we realized in mid-2018 that, yeah, we should maybe set shop on this product and then look for the acquire or the acquisition of the other product. And we started doing that, and eventually we found a midway that is when we set shop, and then all of us, today, actually we are 3 co-owners, all of us work in a health tech startup.
Really?
So,
wow. So all of that helped.
after 3-4 years of turnaround, I think we all got back to the same space in a good leadership position where we're contributing to
Correct.
the same space.
Yeah.
Maybe unlearning from our mistakes and the ones who've done right, joining hands with them and then scaling that.
Wow.
So that's really helpful.
That's an amazing story, because we have heard a lot that companies are built by its people, right? While there are so many consumer brands out there, very few of them are actually able to create a significantly differentiated customer experience. Not only do you need a differentiated product, of course you do, in order to build a brand and target your customers, but we also need to offer a significantly different customer experience, and you have been able to do that in many ways, especially using video content. I think you guys have mastered that skill, and then you took one step further and implemented video commerce with Swirl. Would love to know what was the thought process behind this, and how did you went on to build conviction on video commerce?
So, it's been close to more than a year now. I've been with Traya, and in initial days when the sales funnel of Traya was mostly web oriented, mobile web users, right? Who look at the content on Facebook, Google, mostly Facebook, Instagram, Google, and come to our landing page, right? Which is more graphic content, no video content, right? But they are slower to come to our websites from the video content. That was a mismatch,
Right.
So I think during September time frame in 2022 last year, we were starting to look for these kind of solutions where we, I think, started a POC with Swirl. Did a POC with quite a few players.
Yeah.
Right. We also integrated maybe Google videos itself, which had a load time problem. Right? So we are looking for a very good integrator who can give us very good, not lose on the speed of our website also.
Correct.
Right. Also give us the flexibility to monitor the click rates, the analytics around the videos, right? Be able to change the video without able to publish, change our website, something like that. Right. So that functionality is somewhere there, somewhere we gave feedback. You guys helped us to build faster. Right. And then eventually when we came to the app part also, I think the team from Swirl really kind of maybe did it for the first time. Right? So how in our D2C space, so in D2C also Traya is a little different, right? It's not selling a product, it's selling a plan. It's selling a journey which is going to be for 6 months or more. Yeah. Right? Maybe lifetime also, right? Because once you are a customer, because we are in healthcare business, you need to take care of your hair for lifelong, right? Correct. It's not only today that you have dandruff or hair fall or hair thinning, so you need everything. Tomorrow you will not need. You will always need some product at the other. And if you are trusting one brand to help you today, either that brand has to give you product for life, or what's makes the sense of not having a product for life if you are trying to scale a brand, right? So our story is also that, right? So, but first to get you to in the funnel, you will try to solve a problem that you have, right? The problem that we are focusing on is hair loss problem for men and women, right? And on top of the funnel, people are coming through that video content, you said, right? So that's video content is mastered in Google and Facebook platforms, but how do you put that back to your app or your website, right? Where there is a shoppable experience, a real kind of an experience, right? Which today every app which is doing, right, is getting
correct. Even Spotify, by the way, just made an announcement. Now you can consume music in bite-sized videos as well, right? And hopefully very soon they'll have shoppable elements on top of it, wherein you can buy music tracks.
That's right, because when you are browsing things and you get the fitting ad, right? That's how people click on it.
It's contextually relevant, and because it's contextually relevant, it starts hitting the impulsive decision making now. Now I'm really glad that you brought up the topic of funnel, because that's what I wanted to talk about next. that there are a lot of, so what I've observed is there's a lot of battles that one has to fight when they're building an early stage company, right?
Yeah.
In the last 8 years, being in the e-commerce and retail industry myself, I must have spoken to more than 500 plus founders and senior team leaders in the industry. And really a vast majority of them are always mostly focusing and spending all of their time on the bottom of the funnel matrix, like the GMVs of the world, ki kitna purchase hua, what are the conversions, etc. Right? But very few of them are able to actually think about the whole funnel, wherein the importance of top of the funnel, driving awareness, focusing on customer experience, then creating their purchase intent at middle of the funnel, which then automatically trickles down to bottom of the funnel, right? Like top and middle is where you need to create some magic, and the best of the brands have been able to do that. So wherein conversions and GMV and transactions and purchases become a byproduct. And we have seen Traya doing exceptionally well using your shoppable video content, your short video content. Would love to know what was your thought process behind this in the last 1+ year?
So if you go to our website, right? So the only video content that we have is of Swirl, and these are testimonials for our happy customers, right? Why put a testimonial of a happy customer on Swirl, right? Because one is we, like you mentioned, top of the funnel, right? So we also use the same videos for our ads, right? So context is built in, trust is built in, and like you mentioned, the top of the funnel will eventually buy if they understand the context, right? And at least in hair care,
exactly,
you see that every morning when you see your face while brushing. Right? I have dandruff, I have hair fall,
right?
Right? Then you remember, okay, I had seen Traya ad, or you will actually remember, I've seen Sandeep talking about how it
exactly the guy next door, the friend I know,
or the line that in the testimonial was used, right? The same person
it's with me
will be in your bear in your mind, right? Saying that, okay, I can be that person,
right?
And you saw that transformation,
right?
So that's how, when we were thinking of this and to put some quick content consumable content, right? Where you can also swipe, right? More on, because most of our users then were mobile web, right? So you can swipe it, right? You will be able to scroll, and even there can be CTAs, you can share that video with people, right? All those things, we being more, at that point of time, we are being more focused on our complete, operations, recommendation, more on how product delivery, product efficacy and all that, right? So you can focus on tech that you are trying to build. You are trying to look at the right tech that you want to consume, and then find the right players who can partner with, right? Because you don't want to build everything. Right?
Of course, there's no point.
Right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow you don't want to build a logistic company, right? Where it's parts and
correct.
Others have done because they have that skill.
Yeah.
They have that,
very interesting you bring this up.
Need to build it, right? But not every D2C brand of any size will build. We would want to invest more in our new product development for hair care products, right? Not maybe on these kind of things, right? So finding the right partner who is looking to invest their brains to build and be ahead of the curve, right? Saying, okay, I'm doing the cutting edge innovation, right? So you don't need to worry at it. So that's where we found, I think we found the right partner.
No, that's amazing. But I really love what you said, right? Because honestly, this is what we have been telling to a lot of brands that we talk to, and internally in the team also, how you need to think full funnel when it comes to video, right? Commerce is obviously on top of it. But even when you think video, you have to think full funnel. And you just said something very beautiful, that you are using the videos that are there on your homepage with obviously shoppable layers on top of it. The exact same videos, you are using it to drive awareness, top of the funnel through your ads.
Right.
So when somebody sees that ad or organically discovers that post, maybe either shared by Traya or by Traya's influencer or by Traya's UGC creator or a customer, then they land exactly on the same shoppable video using that link. on Traya's own website where they get that native experience. So the journey is not broken.
Journey is not.
And then once they come to your website, the same video will have these call to action layers, which is all middle of the funnel activities to drive intent,
Right.
to drive consideration. Then they can swipe and see, consume more content, which is again curated and contextually relevant to where they landed. And that drives them towards faster conversions. And I remember one of the metric, probably, somebody from my team said that at one point of time when we started, you guys were at 200 almost orders a day. And then I think in a short span of 6 or 12 months, you guys went to 1,200 orders a day.
So, we have been seeing good growth, right? And lots of partners like you are helping their right time, right place.
Yeah.
So, right? So basically, introducing shoppable videos, maybe targeting the right audience, targeting the right geographic also, right? Because
Correct.
that also plays a big role. Also, we use the content that we use everywhere is similar, right? So we do use for us, the videos are not only part of the shopping videos, right? Throughout the journey, once you are a
Exactly.
customer also,
Yeah.
you see the same type of video, the same
Correct.
same journey where we plug these videos mostly everywhere, right? Kind of how to use, right? Or how do you use a product, right?
Correct. And that is what I wanted to ask you next, because by the way, very few people, probably none in India that we have seen who are using video in their entire funnel, and even post sales, like how we have integrated our APIs, right, into your post sales journey, wherein after buying a product also somebody is getting a curated list of shoppable videos, which is exactly what you said, showing them how to use it, etc. So would love to know your thinking behind how are you even using it post sales funnel.
So, in post, actually, today we use it more in post sales funnel than on the acquisition side, right?
Yeah, and then what happened and how is it helping you in the retention and retargeting?
So when we started revamping our app recently, what we figured out that today's people like to consume the video content more, right? And with video content, we want to give them content of why being regular is more important. How is Traya efficient, right? How will Traya change your goal every month on month? Why do we change your medication every month on month?
Correct.
Right? That communication has to go to you.
Right.
Right? If I send you a 6 lines text, you might not read.
Nobody.
You will misread, you will interpret it in different ways.
Yeah.
Language barriers are there and everything, right? Video content connects the most. Right? Which speaks also in your language. Also, there are captions which will also direct you, and there are links which can open for the content also. Right? So we moved from more content to video content, right? And more on swipeable kind of thing.
Correct.
That you can swipe, right? Every time the content refresh, it is giving you a better content. We are also understanding what kind of content you are trying to use. Right? As you want to consume, you have seen this video, right? With analytics, we are also understanding that, okay, this content is working.
Got it.
Right? If this content is not working, we would want to upgrade the content. We're going to understand if this content is actually being served to a funnel or not.
Right? And so all the analytics that you're able to get from these shoppable videos, you're really able to drive better decisions.
Partly we get from Swirl, partly we also have our own CTAs that we are building. Right? Yes, we are able to kind of make some decisions of which videos to strike down, which videos to keep on, right? Which are yielding us more, say in case of CTAs, in case of acquisition, we know, okay, you saw Sandeep's video, how many conversion pain, right? Or if you're seeing XYZ videos, what is the conversion?
Right.
Of which ad, right? And all those things. So, yes, there is some decision making based on that.
Yeah, so this is very interesting because we were talking about funnel, and before that we were talking about how the entire video is used at every stage of the funnel, how most of the brands and today's D2C companies are usually thinking about the bottom of the funnel, matrix versus the entire journey of the customer. I would love to know from your standpoint that how would you really calculate an ROI in this sense, especially for those guys who would, let's say, question this strategy or who are still figuring out. Like for example, in case of Traya, like most unique company and product I've seen in the market, there's no add to cart, right? It's a beautiful take the hair test option wherein based on your problem statement, Traya will formulate like a custom plan for you and have a very custom formulated product that it will give you over a period of time, which will help you improve. I mean, who would have thought that, right? It's a very unique, and yet even though it is not a straightforward add to cart purchase, still you decide to implement this kind of a strategy. So then how would you calculate ROI, in this sense?
See, everything cannot be calculated in ROI, right? To start with, because one is you have to make a differentiated product. So starting with that, we did not initially think of how I'm calculating the ROI, right? Am I able to execute what difference I'm trying to bring in my method of consuming the content? Or was the first lever first?
So number one priority is creating a differentiated customer experience.
And if that was possible with the least, say, development from both ends, right? Is your product grown at that level or not? That was the first barrier. If that barrier is crossed, then you start consuming and then experimenting X number of strategies, right? We were able to execute that. Then maybe we have come back to you with a lot of customers. Which again, we were able to do that. Like now, I think in the last 3 to 4 months, we are in that ROI phase, right?
Right.
Where we have now integrated this in so many places that we have been able to understand, okay, these very huge, right? These many people who are in retention cohort are consuming your videos. Out of those people who have seen X number of videos, what is the conversion rate? Right. Now you get that matrix of money versus money. Right. Which is the ROI. But initially, if you start with that, okay, I'm trying to bring a platform or a partner, right, where you are also not clear of how it is going to impact, and you start with an ROI, maybe that experiment will fail.
I think you're absolutely right. It's just like starting your own business or starting a new company wherein you first focus on the problem statement of the customer and not how much money you will make. It's like in mujhe business isliye start karna hai so that I can be a millionaire at the end of the year. That like first you have to focus on problem statement, then create a product that can solve that, then test it, iterate it, and then perfect it. And I think this is where again a lot of brands kind of lose sight, focus on, because obviously in the digital world, the CACs are rising, the LTVs are falling, there's a lot of pressure from investors, and obviously a lot of competition. A lot of brands are, but I really admire your hyper focus on being a little conservative this way, right? Because the conservative way of doing business is all about focusing on the customer and their journey. And if you focused on getting that right first before even thinking about ROI, because ROI is a byproduct.
So ROI is a byproduct, but yes, then you said, I want to put X amount of money for this experiment, right? Like when we started, we did not put this in app. We did not put this in.
Right. You started small. Only web.
Landing page of our website. Right. We knew X number of visits would come. We knew X number of views would come.
Correct.
Right. And that is the amount that I'm going to pay you for the platform that I'm using.
Right.
Right. After I see that, yes, views are coming. Right. X number of leads I'm getting. I'm not taking it from lead to conversion. That's a separately different ball game in Traya.
Correct.
Right. But once we know that, then we start increasing the places that we are integrating this.
Correct.
Right. In other pages, in the app, in our communication journey, maybe in our email journeys and all that. As I consume more, we are increasing the size of the people who are going to consume content, right? That is a testimony that, okay, my experiment A actually succeeded. Right? If I'm increasing my budget on a particular partner, it's also telling me that, right? If A is succeeding, B is succeeding, that is when I will try to put that bet.
Correct.
And if A, B, C, and then I know, okay, I have hit one critical mass of a budget, then I will start thinking of ROI.
Correct.
Right? Now I'm thinking of ROI, and now I know my ROI is there.
Correct. Yeah, I mean that's really well said. And that brings me to the next part of our conversation, wherein you mentioned about the importance of customers talking about their experience with Traya, right? I think, literally almost every single D2C brand founder that I've met, especially in the last, 12 to 18 months, are all talking about UGC and the importance of UGC, right? How it increases trust factor in your target audience, how it definitely not just leads to better conversions, obviously, but it also lowers your CACs and increases with your LTVs. And simultaneously, it also helps you to crack the holy grail of building a brand, right? Because it's like other people talking about how good experience they had after using your product. It's not you talking about yourself like the traditional advertising, ways of reaching the consumer. It's like, what Traya is doing is like, ek teer se teen shikar. You're building, you are acquiring a customer. Obviously, you are able to build a brand, and you're also able to lower your acquisition costs, right? So, what is the secret sauce here behind these UGC videos? How do you incentivize customers, run campaigns?
All, good brands who are building the right trust with the customer has moved into these kind of ambassador, finding the heroes in the ambassadors, right? Who has seen the results, in our case, the results maybe, but in any case, right? If you're selling say you're selling a Sherwani over a super video, right? If I had a good experience in my wedding with your Sherwani, I'd be a happy customer where I would want to kind of, if approached, say that, okay, yes, I would want to share a video, right? Or talk about it, right? Where everyone today, because there are so many influencers coming up, everyone is looking to put a video of his own on YouTube, right? If he's actually talking about the right product that he believes or she believes in, then that's what is going big today across the world, right? So not only Traya, I think, n number of D2C platforms or products are doing that. Finding the right heroes, the right customer ambassadors who are with them for a long journey, right? In our case, yes, it takes a 3 months, 6 months journey to be able to see results before that pre-buying stage of 2-3 months where you actually interest.
Correct. Create awareness, drive in.
Because you are actually consuming some product, right?
Correct.
You are applying it on your scalp. That brand trust has to be built in. So anyone who is giving a testimonial or a video has spent 3 to 6 months minimum with Traya.
Right.
And in most of the brands where people have started adopting these UCC videos, that's the journey with them, right? 6 months, 3 to 6 months minimum, where they have seen that efficacy, trust, right? Good support, right? A lot of policies also matter, right? We have obviously our policies would have connected to those customers who are rating us good in Play Store, who are giving us testimonial videos, who are giving good CSAT, lots of things, right? Lots of people who are giving us these ratings and CSAT are the people who we are approaching.
Got it.
We have communities with our community managers and constantly in touch with them, right? So the more connected you are with us, right? And now these people have seen that, okay, these people do videos, right? So they can approach us by testimonial videos or when they are getting a good feedback.
Right. So one most important aspect is having those systems in place, like CSAT you just mentioned, to find your highly satisfied customers who can refer or who might potentially refer you, right? Which is one part. But then the second part is, so I understand what you said, that having a satisfied customer base is what ultimately leads to UGC. But you see, having like every brand, I agree that, would have a community in place. But then very few like Traya would be able to organize that community and drive user-generated content from it, right? It's actually community building, wherein you're purposely organizing it and figuring out ways for them to speak about their experience. How do you do this? Like, how do you incentivize them, or what are the campaigns you run through which customers would want to come out and share their experience?
So in our posters, we have 8 coaches, right, who talk to you throughout your journey.
Sorry, in your what?
In our post-sales journey, you have 8 coaches who talk to you.
Questions. Oh, okay.
Okay, they maybe even book a call with them on your own. They call you if you are not connected to us every 15 days once.
Oh, is
They try
it?
to call you.
Okay.
Right?
So there are personal coaches.
Yeah, personal coaches who are assigned to each customer. Right?
Okay.
These coaches become their voice, generally for good or bad. Right? If you are facing any problem, you have a complaint, right? Everything.
Wow.
Right? Everything has a tag, right?
Right.
In the same way, when you speak to them, we also communicate to you for CSAT feedback for the coach, how they are behaving with you over the call, with your queries resolved and all that. And out of the responses that you've given, right, we kind of we have a team who basically then takes that input and then we'll reach out to a set of people to become ambassadors and all that, right? So previously it was more in access. Now we've started making a process around it, maybe making it more formulated.
Right.
In future, we'll have maybe a cohort where people can actually subscribe to become an ambassador.
Oh, wow. Okay. So right now you're saying that it's mostly all relationship based, driven, organic. Like, you don't have any formal kind of a program?
It's mostly organic, right? It is because we speak to 25,000 people on a daily basis.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So out of those people who are in that post part of the journey, they have seen results, right? Or if you have not seen results, there is again actually go beyond to basically find ways to make them happy. That's our main concern.
Yeah.
The getting the good content is very easy, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
Tell me more about that. How do you find these ways to make them happy? Because I have just heard something, having a personal coach every 15 days checking, unheard of. Amazing idea, by the way, bringing slightly human touch to your whole, customer journey and experience, even after purchase. I mean, who would have thought that, right?
So after purchase in healthcare in any health thing is very important. We have a plan-based thing.
Yeah.
Because today you are using X combination of products. Tomorrow you may not need that X combination of product basis on your lifestyle change or any change, right? I had dandruff, so I was using a heavy dandruff shampoo. Now I don't have a dandruff. I have no dandruff. I should not be using. I should just be using a normal shampoo for maintenance. Things like that. I'm not an expert on this, so please. Right? But things like that, right? So understanding whether it's adherence also, right? So you need a push to be able to adhere, right? So nowadays, app solves most of the adherence problems, alerts and all that. But then India is in multiple tiers. Right? There's a panwala who will not have an app. Who will have a smartphone with WhatsApp, Facebook. But it will not be it tries to basically download a Traya app, which is currently served on English language, and be able to consume or log his medicines, be able to follow a regime there. So that person is more wanting to talk to someone to be able to understand the process better. We have to be more efficient, right? Sometimes to also place an order. Right? So multiple things. I need a complaint that my order is not I have not received an order, or to basically give a testimonial also that they are happy. Right? So on a call they actually express that they are happy now. Right? Finally, I want to.
But do you incentivize that behavior? Like, how do you get so many customers to? Any tips for other brands?
So we don't incentivize people for giving us good reviews. We incentivize people to be regular and accurate, right? So basis on to every brand does that, right? If you keep reordering, Zomato keep telling you, okay, take 100 rupees discount.
Got it.
So we also picture at the same time that, okay, are you hungry? Right? Everyone is trying to play the same game, right? So adherence is very key to that. So on adherence, we have some strategies where we actually bring people into a good funnel where we rightly price, so we don't work on this one.
Okay.
Right? We are delivering the right value at the right
Correct.
price. Right? You can price yourself 5x, give give the
Yeah.
product for 20 rupees, right? So it doesn't matter, right? Saying that, okay, I am giving 80% discount.
Yeah.
So that's not the strategy that Traya is working on.
So, Sandeep, one of the things that I have repeatedly heard, or I'm sure you have heard, and we are actually talking about it right now behind the camera. We've heard from the industry leaders. Everybody has been talking about the importance of the whole growth coming from tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. Nikhil Kamat's latest episode with Kishore Biani, Raj, and a bunch of others spoke the importance about how the next wave of growth is going to come from these cities. I would love to get your view on this in terms of how do you see this growth unfolding for Traya, especially because we have seen that you guys have integrated regional languages also into your video content.
So for every D2C brand, right? So when you start experimenting, you find a better tech savvy, pocket friendly, high ticket size value where you can experiment in metros, right? Everyone has money to spare, money to spend, right? Are adopting new things faster, use and throw kind of things, right? But as the internet revolution, which Jio has brought, and everyone today has say a handset with 6 inches, right? Android phone with a 6-inch mobile with unlimited data, right? They're consuming so much of content and are looking for solutions to their problems, right? And they're going into the internet, right? And with maybe a voice search or Google search, or Facebook is pushing them content, WhatsApp marketing is pushing them content. A lot of content they have started consuming, finding solutions to their problems, right? Now these new age brands like ours, right, which is proven that, okay, they solve the problem, which maybe 10 years before used to only maybe serve to a critical mass, which is tech savvy, which is in metros or maybe tier 1 cities only, the state capitals.
That's a misnomer.
Second big city of the states and all that, who are putting hoardings, newspaper ads and all that, or a commercial in TV could reach the end consumer in lot more geographics. Those days are gone. Right? You can tap a consumer in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities with the right content by building trust, right? Being wherever in the world you are, right? Everyone has started doing that. If done right, it can actually help to grow your brand, right? Everyone uses different strategy, right? People want to start from that city because they're actually catering to that genre, that ticket size, that problem. People are facing the problem in those
So
cities.
what does it mean by if done right? What are the learnings you have had in terms of what should a brand do to get it right, to get that strategy right?
So you are looking at what time purchase, a repeat purchase, but or how is your product priced, right? I cannot take a product which is like 5,000 rupees, which should ideally be priced at 2,000 rupees because I'm a premium brand, to a person sitting in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 city. Right? Whereas I can actually sell this in brick and mortar in a airport outlet.
Right.
Right? In an airport outlet, you can buy something for 5,000 rupees. The same factory will make that product and give to some other brand, which is selling it in some other brick and mortar store or online at maybe 20% the price. Right? So your brand is also about how does a brand trust build, right? What content are you serving them? What price point are you? What are the policies? Right? Policies doesn't mean that different policy kya hai. Actually, are you trying to serve the right solution to the person, right? I should care about the person, then about my profit margins, And I should care about my Sangeet, then after that I should care about my profit margins. If I do that right, other things will follow. Right? So to cap and tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities can only be tapped if you can solve that problem, because they are not impulsive buyers. Right?
Oh,
Because
that's a big insight.
Because they have only some money to spare.
Right. So that means most of it is going to be planned purchase instead of impulsive.
It's
or a
solution that they're looking for.
Or they would be in a consideration stage for quite some amount of time and then take a decision.
Problem, they're looking for a solution. If they might buy on the first day, they might buy after 90 days, 120 days or something, right? But they have a problem, they are looking for a solution. Right?
So just to go back, one thing that you have done right to solve this problem is creating these videos in regional languages, the UGC videos that can appeal to your target audience. Number one. Number two, what you've also done is that all these are super authentic videos created by the same who has been created by the same people who come from tier 2, 3, 4 cities, right? So there's a lot of relevance and authenticity in that sense. Those are the top two things. And third is you've got the pricing right.
So see, if you open an Adidas store and a Bata store in a small town, which store will be a success?
Correct.
Right? Because one is, and both of these are non-Indian brand. Bata is not an Indian brand, right? People perceive that as an Indian brand because it's an IT price. It picked up not in metros, it picked up in tier 2, tier 3 cities, right? And it's rightly priced. You can get a good leather chappal at a 800 rupees price point.
And I'm assuming that you also mentioned that you give that human touch. Some experts are talking to the customers, which means that people in these tier 2 or 3 cities who want to, have a problem and find a solution are able to get that extra nudge after talking to the experts. Does that also...
One need to be heard of, right? So now, while they have the handset, they can consume content. 95% of the content available on social media or on Google is English, and very only a few learned people. Terminology is not as good as a Indian heartland person can understand, or someone sitting in a very remote city of Tamil Nadu can understand, right?
Yeah.
Once you connect to a human, he is making you understand in the language that you want to understand first. Second, in that pace that you would consume the content. Right? Okay, repeating it 5 times, right? Making sure that you have understood. Right? I can draft 5 statements in a blog, which you will reread, you will make 5 perceptions out of it. Right? But on the human touch, it actually makes sure that you understood what I'm trying to
You get it right.
Right? And maybe if you need 5 calls to do that, we will do the 5 calls.
And especially because it's a long-term relationship anyway with your customer, wherein it's like on a monthly, quarterly basis, he's getting these products. I think that's an amazing strategy and amazing insight. I hope more people take a leaf out of your playbook. That brings me to something interesting that I was informed from my team that there was a point in time, I think you mentioned it initially only during our conversation, that you evaluated a dozen players, when you decided to venture into the video commerce space or building e-commerce journeys on top of existing video content anyways that you were building. And then you finally decided to choose Swirl, right? So what it is, made you choose Swirl over others?
We initially did our POC and we integrated on our landing pages with you guys, right? Eventually, when we started to go all saying that okay, we'll add this on app and all these things, we were in a spot where we thought, finally they are giving me an MP4 file here on a cloud. Why cannot I post it? Right? Honestly, now that we know how much it goes behind the...
Now you know,
right?
But initially
also like...
but a lot of...
Also, I had this perception when when I see saw that, okay, this is the cost that is going to go in and all that, why should we not go ahead and look into it for our use case, how much we should invest in building it, and then maintaining it is only a AWS cost, for example, right? Then we said, yeah, try karenge. We also went on, found a few other partners, started looking at few other partners, more features, saying that, okay, so I'll give this. Are there other players who are giving more features? Right? And eventually figure out that, yeah, before content I can host, right? But I have to build analytics around it, maybe build cities around it, right? A lot of a dashboard for people to upload. It's a product, right? You have to understand that, okay, I'm building a feature versus a product. Right? Yes, we are a tech-first company where you build a lot of things, right? But eventually, you will not build a payment gateway, right? So you go to a payment partner.
Correct.
Similarly, for video content, you are our preferred partner, right? And with, yes, the offerings that is required and something which is, that's your brain for you to find, okay, today, 10 new things can be added this year, right? So I have given kind of partnered with you saying that, okay, Swirl is my think tank for anything shoppable videos or consumable videos content. If we like that feature, we'll adopt it. If we don't need that feature, we'll not adopt it. That's a separate thing, right? But what feature I have seen in my 6 months roadmap or 12 months roadmap is there with you or not today? And then tomorrow when I start building my roadmap for next few quarters, we go back and settle with the team saying that, hey, I'm thinking this, do you have it or not? If you don't have it, please build it.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Right? At times where you said, no, it's not in our roadmap, we will come back and ask you that, build it for us, you have done that. Right?
Yeah.
So that is a partnership that has been working on.
Right.
When in that time frame, I think maybe almost a year.
Almost a year now, yeah.
Thinking that whether or not to do it, what made a differentiator that internally in team also the people who are using it to upload the content, right, tracking the analytics and all that, they become kind of voices internally saying that, hey, इसी को रखते हैं ये अच्छा है, right? Why to reinvent the wheel and all that, right? So that is also something that, okay, the actual not only the people whom the video is being served, how much maintenance that you need at the back end is R&D also.
Correct.
Right? If I don't need a maintenance person who is doing a regular job, then I'm only paying you a monthly usage cost.
That's
right?
it.
I don't have anything else to do with it.
Correct.
Right? There's this very simple dashboard where people can upload the videos, very simple dashboard where they can look at the analytics and all that. And there's no much training required once it has been done. And then people have changed behind the scenes at our end. But I think, I don't know if something is cooking there because no one has reached out to me. So as long as that is there, then it's out.
No, this is really amazing coming from you, because especially you, because you head engineering and product at Traya, and there's been a lot of times when we initially have conversations with brands and they decide to implement our turnkey live and video commerce solution. Every time they bring their technical guys into the call, like afterwards they call and tell us, "Kare yaar, wo to bol rahe ki to hum hi khud bana lenge," because it's a new thing. They don't understand what goes. But then what you said is something that I always say to them. My team says to them, but we never got this feedback in return. So it means a lot.
It's a matter, right? Yeah. So your core product is something else.
Correct.
Right?
You
will have
play around with it, yeah.
Partners, team partners.
Yeah.
You will need to decide that, okay, why does XYZ platform
exist? Otherwise, tomorrow you can build your own customer engagement platform, your own CRM. Like, how much are you going to build anyway? Yeah, I think that you have to. Because
in tech, you really need to store the data.
Yeah.
But you will not, like a payment gateway is one example. You will not host it on your own cloud, right? You will use AWS or Google Cloud or something like that, right? So you'll be the best,
So many moving parts. Yeah.
best available partner, or work with that partner to make sure that this is the partner whom I'm going to be with. Right? In our case, that partnership has been able to see both sides of it. Right? That yes, when we validated, we found that you are the best partner, and then what all we needed was kind of maybe either made us to figure out that this is the best way to implement it, or as we needed, the integration was done in all this. So that really worked.
No, thank you. That means a lot. I'll pass on the compliments to my team, but appreciate that candor and response. I was thinking that now that you have got so much of understanding and in-depth knowledge about the whole video funnel journey, I was wondering, how are you next planning to scale up your video commerce strategy? And what are the areas that actually Swirl can support you?
So I think more real kind of view, like I was talking sometime earlier with you, right? So that is where people are looking to consume the content more. Initially, we thought maybe in our kind of personas, this is lesser relevant, but still people want to consume videos when they come on app to understand what changes do they need to bring in their lifestyle to make sure that their efficacy improves and all that in our context, right? But in general, for any other, like if you're working with a shoe brand, right? While I'm wearing a shoe, but how is it going to help me in running on my fitness?
Right.
So
exactly.
That is a contextual video that I'm wanting to and more, right? So as I am adopting more Instagram or reel kind of or shorts kind of video content, right? And everything has a CT, right? Or everything has an analytics, right? So if I'm seeing a type of videos and I'm continuously seeing that, you can retarget me with a better content or
we do have that feature. I'll show you after this call.
So that's what I think people are moving towards, right? And in our case, it's not product oriented, more hate test in the initial journey, but when it comes to later journey, it's more what products I've been using now. Contextual videos of that, right? I have been using 5 type of products. So how these 5 products as a combination is helping me in my journey.
Okay.
Right? Because of that, what is the diet I have to follow? What lifestyle I have to follow? Why I have to follow? If there are something that is going to, initially maybe because you are looking for hair, you have a hair thinning problem, hair loss problem, so your thin hair sets, right? Communicating that to users is the biggest barrier in our industry right now, right? So in the first month, you see a lot of head setting, right? So people say, "Yeah, mere baal to onset," right? But that is part of the documentation, part of the communication. But people don't read that. People don't consume that content because at that point of time, a lot of content is given to you.
Yeah.
Right. But as you come into a smaller funnel, into the app, right, and you start consuming more content and more video content, right? Then someone speaking about it, and that catches your eye. So then you understand, right? So, and making them consume the right content, the right type. More than words, the words that I can read. If someone is speaking, I'm hearing, right? I'm seeing the video. It makes more sense.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. Especially, I think some latest data that I did see, it told me that you guys have already hit almost a scale in the past few months of close to 7 figures, maybe a little bit more than 1 million. And I'm assuming that there is a very strong likelihood that this will probably grow 10x in the next year or so to come. And all these strategies will come in very, very handy to figure out to enter new geographies, new product lines, and maybe target new set of customer cohorts as well.
So every strategy has play in how the growth is happening, growth on numbers or growth on more leads that are being acquired who eventually become customer as the trust builds and all that, right? So every change has part to play, right? Whether you're being more commerce content, then you also get people who are just consuming the content and are just shoppers, are not shoppers. They are just like coming for a content.
Correct.
That is also a good thing, right? Because
Absolutely. Awareness.
right. Eventually, if that person has that problem, he will look for a product. If you are the best product in the market, they will come and buy from you. Right? So that is how the growth is going to be funneled, right? The content is going to be the primary thing, right? For a blog consumer, blog is the content, right? Every blog nowadays, previously blogs used to not have videos. Now blogs also have started having videos, right? For a video content consumer who is moving to what scale we don't know, right? Everyone is spending at least 10 minutes watching video that I know of.
I saw an article somewhere. On an average, Gen Z spends 70 hours of time every month watching video content.
Yeah. So I'm saying
on social media, not even Netflix.
Yeah, I was also talking about social media, these shorts and all that. The people I know of, and these are not Gen Z, they spend minimum 10 to 15 minutes a day just consuming random videos, right? Some on Instagram, on shorts, right? And maybe I'm quoting very low number because I have friends who do so many things. But yes, there are people who consume hours of content a day.
100%.
Right? So, and that number is only spiking up.
Correct.
Right? You, like how many people watching the World Cup match?
Right.
5 crore watching on.
That was insane.
Correct.
That
tells that how many people have started consuming content on their handsets on the go. Right?
So on that note, have you ever thought about venturing into live commerce and live streaming?
So our product line is not that, right? Because ours is not a O2C product, and we don't believe selling a single SKU or a single product.
But the experience, educating the customer, bringing in experts.
Yeah, we did a few say seminars and all that to try out. I think I'm not the right person to talk about it. But yeah, I think yes, obviously.
What the short maybe in the future.
Yeah, there is hope there. Awareness is an important thing. Right?
Correct.
How you can bring that awareness using all the possible platforms.
Correct. That is most important. That's the point. Yeah.
Bring consumer on your website using the content that you consume through them. Is what
is the holy grail. Yeah. No, in closing, I would love to, a lot of brands today are sitting on the fence when it comes to adapting to a new age technology like video commerce, right? What would be your advice to these brands?
Surely try it, right? Give it a few months, right? And numbers will talk.
Few months, by the way, not few days, not few weeks, because they are only thinking, "Kare yaar, abhi lagaya, kal conversion badhna chahiye."
Months, right? And go slow, right? You put in maybe a page where you're getting maybe 10% of your traffic, right?
Right. Start small.
Worried about speed.
Correct.
Worried about integration, lots of things, right? Start small, slowly bring to the place where the most traffic is. Don't look for immediate results because nothing gives you immediate result, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you have to watch the drops. Right? If it is staying consistent, it's not working.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, that's well said.
And then, after 2 to 3 months, maybe even look at what are you spending on it? What is the traffic on the videos, right? And then see that how many sales are there? All those analytics which you provide, right? Or any other platform will also be providing, right? Is your content being consumed, right? That's a win for you also. If the content is being consumed,
right?
How many minutes are being watched, right? People are watching because it is available. Where else was it available?
Correct.
Right? Or if the same video which is being watched in your YouTube channel, right? Are you putting it on, say, on your website, right? Mark the numbers before you start it, right? How much from which platform has come.
Yeah, that's how you started, right?
To understand that we need to tick, right? So, is YouTube giving you sales? No, right? YouTube is giving you
Right.
measure to actually showcase your testimonials, capabilities of a product, and it has a CTA below, right? Or on the YouTube screen also. I don't know if it's already there, but right. And then you have a link. That same thing you are also providing on a shoppable videos, right? That's how you can track. So 5-day, 10-day experiments doesn't work when you are looking for adding a new platform or a new strategy, right? At least a few months, not 2.
Yeah.
2+. I would say, right? It takes time, it takes patience, it takes important decision making to fail, to start with. If you don't think that you can fail, then you will not succeed, I would say.
Yeah, that's well said. Thank you so much, Sandeep, for giving your time today and for this amazing candor. Had a great time chatting, and I hope we can do this again sometime.